Hello everybody and welcome to the Sunday race review for the Turkish Grand Prix. First of all, we'll huddle together because it's incredibly cold in our commentary box after the Grand Prix. We're recording this as literally the last thing we've done today in what has been a Champions Day in Formula One, in the British Touring Cars and in MotoGP as well. So Megan Burgess stayed alongside me. Megan, first of all, Lewis Hamilton, a 7 times champion of the world. How do you see that?
I find it incredibly good because he now equals Michael Schumacher.
On 7, but technically, as we said...
Technically, he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah, becomes the greatest of all time because he's got more race wins, pole positions, more consecutive Grand Prix started than him, but he's still not quite 306 is what Schumacher's at, but still, Lewis technically the greatest of all time. We have the top 3, which we'll go through first at the bottom of your screen. But we must just talk about, first of all, Megan, the overall result of the Turkish Grand Prix. We'll start off with lap 1. Slippery surface, full wet tyres for everyone. Was it the right call in those conditions to start the race normally, or would you have called it differently with a safety car?
I wouldn't have called it with a safety car because it would be a risk.
So you were right with what we were going on?
Yeah, because trying to start going slow on that slippery surface wasn't going to help.
Yeah. So Lance Stroll gets a great start. Verstappen bogs down and causes a Constantino effect. But the main thing was Hamilton into turn 1, going on the inside of Ricciardo. Ricciardo has to jink the car to stop him hitting Hamilton, but in turn hits his own teammate of Ocon, and Ocon spins around and then Bottas spins around. From that moment on, the championship was done, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Bottas and Ocon continued to make contact on the opening lap. So really, lap 1, the championship was pretty much settled, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hamilton, though, was playing second fiddle for most of the race. Racing Point were leading the way with a charge from both Red Bulls of Verstappen and Albon. First of all, Verstappen. Perez made a mistake coming through turn 8 for second place. Verstappen goes alongside, gets on the AstroTurf, spins the car down the back straight towards turn 12. That was Verstappen thinking too much with his heart, not too much with his head there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was racing on anger. What did you say in the broadcast? Something like, he's got to stop that. He's got to learn a bit more to pull back.
Yeah, because otherwise he's just going to end up crashing and spinning.
Which is exactly what happened, yeah.
Yeah.
He did it again with Albon as well when Raikkonen went off. Albon as well, I think this was a day Albon could have won the race, but he's lost out to Red Bull. To his own teammate Verstappen again. And I think that might be it for Albon at Red Bull. What do you think going for 2021?
I think it would be nice for him to go to a different team, one that actually suits his needs.
Would Haas take him as a second driver? That's been
Probably.
rumoured a lot, yeah. Then we'll go through to the last lap. Hamilton, we'll go through actually to Lance Stroll next of all. Rain was predicted in the last lap. Heavy rain didn't come. They decided to pitch Stroll early and then he began falling down the field. Now, that wasn't actually a great call, was it? Because...
No, he was going strong on those tyres.
And the strategy sort of let him down and gifted the race win to Hamilton.
Yeah, and Hamilton went longer on his tyres than what Stroll would have.
So, Racing Point not experienced there enough for that strategy call. We'll go to the end of the lap then, and the end of the race. Hamilton takes the victory, becomes a 7-time champion. We discussed that. But then it was Leclerc, who was running in third place, ran up the inside of Perez, who was second, but went too deep, too wide. Perez got back through, and then Vettel took Leclerc. And he almost got Perez to the line, but Vettel getting his first podium of the year and could be his last with Ferrari. That's a fantastic achievement, though, isn't it?
It is quite a good achievement. I mean, he's been wanting a podium all year, and now I feel like he feels... great, I can end this year knowing that at least I got on the podium.
So your top 3 was Hamilton, Perez and Vettel. And if Megan scooches, you don't have to skip that much actually. You pretty much stay where you are. I forgot where the camera is. Here's the full results then for the Turkish Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton takes victory, gets 25 points and becomes a 7-time champion. Sergio Perez second. That's fantastic news for Racing Point and the constructors with 18. Ferrari, double points, third and fourth. Vettel third with 15 points. Leclerc in fourth has 12. 10 points goes to Carlos Sainz, 8 points goes to Verstappen, 6 points goes to Albon, 5 points goes to Norris, 2 points go to Stroll, could have been 25, and 1 point goes to Daniel Ricciardo in the top 10. A lap down, Ocon, Kvyat, Gasly, Bottas got lapped. That was championship defining moment. Raikkonen and Russell out of the race, as you pointed out in the last lap, Megan, was Magnussen, Grosjean, Latifi and Giovinazzi all eliminated. And this is what it does for the Drivers' Championship. It secures Lewis Hamilton as champion, 307 points going into the last 3 races. Bottas 197, now can only fight Verstappen for second. Sergio Perez on 100 points is 3 points clear of Lance Stroll, who is 1 point clear of Danny Ricciardo. It's the battle for third and fourth now between Racing Point Ferrari and Renault. McLaren are fighting on their own, 7th and 8th, on 1 point between Sainz and Norris. Alexander Albon's up to 9th place as well. Gasly remains in 10th. Stroll has dropped further down the order again into 11th. Ocon's off that page. Vettel's moved himself up into 13th now with that podium, onto more points than he had previously. He's now into 33. Kvyat on 26. Hulkenberg remains 15th on 10, and still 4 points apiece for Alfa Romeo with Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, 2 points for Grosjean, 1 point for Magnussen, and still, on a day where anything could have happened, no points for Williams, Latifi and Russell on 0 points. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes are already the champions, 504, but with the result today, it has confirmed Red Bull sort of in second place, but it's a fight for third. Racing Point 154, McLaren 149, Renault 136, Ferrari 130. It's now become a 4-way fight for the Constructors' Championship third place. AlphaTauri 89, they're pretty much on their own. Battle further back, Alfa Romeo 8, Haas F1 are on 3, Williams still on 0. So that's the result then from the Grand Prix of Turkey. Megan, leaving this weekend. It's been a nice return. We've had a string of 4 races. Eiffel at the Nürburgring, Portimao with Portugal. Then we had the run a couple of weeks ago. Where were we? Imola and Emilia-Romagna. And in here this weekend in Istanbul with Turkey. We've had 4 races of unpredictability, but Hamilton's won them all. The multi-circuits where we thought it would be closer. Hamilton's won all of them, and he's taken the title as well. We now go over to Bahrain in 2 weeks' time, followed then by another one in Bahrain for Shakir, and then the season rounds out in Abu Dhabi. It's the last triple header. It's all in the desert. How do you think it's going to be with gloves off now? It's just going to be about racing.
I think it's going to be dramatic, especially if it decides to rain again.
Which it could do. I mean, it rained here in Turkey. We're just on the edge of a desert, aren't we?
Yeah, so that's unusual.
It is. It is very unusual. So thanks to your company this weekend, and Ian Birch as well for joining us. I think it's just me and you in the commentary box next time out to Bahrain for the main race. And then I think all 3 of us together for Shakir and Abu Dhabi. I'm not too sure how that's working out there, if you're even here for Shakir. But it's an outer loop circuit with 87 laps. So
depends what day Shakir is.
December.
What day?
6th or 7th, somewhere around there. I don't think you're here for that one, I'm not sure.
I might be studying for a test.
Yes, so Megan will definitely be here for the Bahrain Grand Prix and going forward for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. But it has been a fantastic weekend. Lewis Hamilton has claimed his 7th world title. And if you don't mind, we're going into the warm. So it's good night.